2, 3. Alright, cool.
Alrighty.
So, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Animacast. Today you've got just me and Remy.
Dudes.
Yeah, probably aren't we like the two most active on the channel?
Yeah, probably, yeah, most likely.
Yeah. I know everyone comments about how you're so fucking loud.
Yeah, am I like far away enough now? I have no idea.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright. Yeah, okay, so the optimal place for that is there. Cool.
Alright. Let's see. So, first of all, I want to bring up the Imitator 2. For those listening, I don't know if it is already released or uh, if it's going to be released. But today, the day that you're listening to this, or that at least that this is uploaded, Imitator 2 should be dropping.
Yep.
Yeah, and me, and a lot of people got to see like a local premiere because Shuriken set up like a live stream,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, he set up a live stream and he just played the animation, and then we all were like, encore, play it again. It was really good.
I'll bet.
Like I'm there's still a few things that need to be polished up, but like I'm really excited for everyone to see it,
I'm
especially
sure.
since I was like hosting it for a month or two.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told us about this like in the call and whatnot. Everything's been like all. It was a little bit hard at the times, only because of was like scheduling and also like lack of motivation, wasn't it? It's not really Shuriken's fault. It's just that like a lot of things really happened. Except it kind of was his fault.
Um,
I don't know.
are you talking about like the progress of the collab?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't motivation. There's one thing that I absolutely admire about Shuriken is that he is dedicated. Like he'll start something and he'll do everything he can to finish it. But even for Imitator 2, there were multiple times where he was about to cancel it.
Yeah.
But like I'm like, if that's the stuff he makes when he's not even enjoying himself, like imagine what he could do when he goes into game dev. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Imitator 2 too much because Shuriken wants to do an episode of Animacast eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, we'll just center an entire episode around Imitator 2 because I at least have a lot to say about it
I'll bet.
in my experience.
Um,
But yeah, so everyone be on the lookout for that, or go watch it again if you've already seen it, or if you just haven't seen it at all, go watch it.
yep. It's gonna be a baller.
What are you expecting out of Imitator 2?
Uh,
Because you've seen very little.
yeah, very little true. Um, Plot progression. I'm just kidding. I,
There actually is a little bit of lore.
mm,
That's all I'll say.
I only know a little bit from the trailer and what at least what you are able to show. But I mean, I'm pretty much expecting like a lot of really great combos and a lot of because I've seen like very smooth animation from specific animators and they're really great. Especially you did really good too. Um, I'm just
Thank
like
you.
I'm pretty hyped for like the entire collab itself. Not gonna lie, collab.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
you're gonna love it. I promise. All right, moving on, so I don't accidentally talk too much about that. Um, ha, the recent animation came out like a week ago, or like 8 days ago, or something, called Has Been Hotel, and it's this animation. it's like something that you would see on Adult Swim, except it was purely made through YouTube. It had like, maybe it had like some backing through like Patreon. Well, no, it definitely had Patreon, but like Kickstarter maybe.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, it was just like people who didn't have anyone really backing them, like any big corporations supporting them, and they pulled together just an amazing animation, and now it's controversial or some shit because people are like immediately throwing in the towel, like whether or not they like it.
I mean, like so far from what I've seen, like it's really like how do I say it? It's really good in terms of like animation itself. I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, there's a few choppy parts, but like honestly, what do you expect? It's like for what you get, it's really good.
yeah. Oh, oh
Oh boy.
goodness. The concept of
So
this is
you
like really interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
you haven't seen it at like you haven't seen the full pilot?
Not the full pilot. I've only seen like the beginning parts.
I hadn't heard of this thing until like a week ago or two,
Hmm.
and then I watched. I kept seeing it on Twitter, and then I watched the full thing, and I just fell in love with it. It's almost at 6 million views.
Yeah,
Wow.
5.9, my dude. Like it really does have the potential to become its own series. Like
Yeah,
definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone like something like Adult Swim wanted to back this.
I would so hope that like Adult Swim actually does back this because like a whole lot of the animation is great. I'm currently how do I say this? Not a lot of cartoons or even adult cartoons these days are as creative as this. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like uh, you know like Steven
Like
Universe and whatnot, right? You know the design of that.
um yeah, I mean I haven't watched too much of it,
Yeah,
but I
but
know of it.
yeah, you know about the design, right? At least where everyone memes about like everything looks like Cal Arts.
Sure. We'll go with that.
uh, well, okay. Let me put some context here. A lot of people noticed that from Gumball, Steven Universe, freaking a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff. Their designs are like very similar to like even Clarence. They were similar to something called something about Cal
Clarence.
Arts. Yeah, Clarence. He has the same freaking head too. Like almost a lot of the characters on Cartoon Network are usually made by probably the people who go to Cal Arts. That is what I've heard. I've seen like a meme of it where it's like they've reshaped the head into like the same shape, but it's from different characters. It's very
Hmm.
weird, and it does make a point that a lot of the styles are very similar. So seeing a style like this where it it almost reminds me of rubber hosing, but that's probably just like the funkiness of how you say it, funkiness of the characters and whatnot. But it's like it's very
I don't I
very
don't
sharp.
I don't know if I'd go to link it to Rubber Hose.
Hmm.
I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from,
I don't know
but
how to
it
call it.
really to me it kind of represents like the occasional really good animation that you'll find on Twitter or something, except just brought up into like a show,
Yeah,
and it shows off what some people are really capable of, even when they don't have too much to, even when they don't have much.
yep. Like I don't
'Cause, like the to me, this style is really unique for its kind.
definitely. That's why I'm just like I don't understand what to call it because it's really good. It's probably like it's very sharp, but it also is a little bit round, so it's like a nice in between. So I don't know what to call that.
Yeah, I think this one episode took like a year or two to make.
Yeah, I've only seen
So like,
like a
yeah.
trailer. Well, I don't know if it's a trailer, but I just the one where they sing basically. Because I know there was something before this. I know they made like a whole thing about the, I don't know. I think this was the main character, but she was basically singing and everyone hated her afterward.
Yeah, honestly, normally when that sort of stuff happens, it's really cringy because they do like some generic like Shakespeare music, or that's not, those two words don't go well together, but
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
like play music. Like you go to a show like a kids talent show, and they play all these boring songs, and it just adds to the cringe
Yep.
because it just doesn't fit the atmosphere.
Everyone just
But
fucking has their
like
camera.
this one does it really well.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's really good. It's just good.
Yeah,
That's all I could say. Like I can't, like it's so hard to like describe something that is like entirely new to the point where you are basically like in the seat of probably creating a lingo for it.
yeah,
it's just that kind of unique. That's how good it is.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so I think that's our cue to go on to the next subject
Absolutely, dude.
when we got nothing to talk about.
We can't say anything else. It's just too good.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
Um, Heist with Markiplier came out like on the, what was it, the 30th of October?
Yeah, it was directly on the
That
30th.
was a week ago already.
Yeah. That,
God damn. I
that
don't
was.
know. It feels like so much longer.
Are you serious?
Yes, I don't know. But around when Mark made his his first video like that, like the date with Markiplier,
Yeah.
um, I thought it was really fucking creative, and then more people started doing it. I think like one of the other really good ones was it had like Boy in a Band, Rumi,
Hmm.
Rob Scowen, and Andrew Huang, and they did kind of a similar ordeal, but just more stupid fun. Like no real plot line or story.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic and static. But I wanted to make one of my own, and I got it confirmed by Hyun, and then I never did it.
you,
You're gonna,
you fucking,
yeah,
you, you're just like, you know what? Nah, I got a 360 collab instead.
yeah. No, this was actually like, I think this was like summer of 2017.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah,
Dude, are you kidding me? That's 2 years ago. Come on.
yeah. Shut it.
uh,
Mm. But he pretty much greenlit the, the project. Um, and I worked on like the plot of it. I gave him like a few options of what he wanted it to be about, and we would upload it to the dojo, and that's kind of where it would be data based. I don't know, but I don't know. I guess I just lost motivation, and I never even started animating it. I just got like the different paths
mm,
done, and that was it.
well, I mean, you do technically have a lot enough time now that I know of.
No,
No, damn it.
no, I do not.
Or
I got school going on. I want to finish up Shame's story before I tackle a huge project like that.
fair enough.
But so my next collab, you know what it is. You're animating for it right now.
Shut up. I'm just kidding. You're not supposed to tell
um,
anyone. I'm just kidding.
thing is, like this channel is at a relatively, it's relatively quiet and not too well known by the community. So I feel like it'd be okay to mention just to kind of get hype rolling on,
Yeah, okay,
you
that's
know.
fair enough.
So forever. This is for your ears only, viewers or
Mm-hmm.
listeners. Don't you dare share this anywhere else because I don't want people annoying me about it.
You will be.
Meme Dream 2 is on its way.
God damn it.
I've been working on it ever since like a month before the 360 collab released. And progress has been so slow because I'm still trying to like kind of figure out how exactly I want this to go. I got like a really good idea of what I want, but the shit has just been going so slow with participants.
Yep.
But then the collab after that, I plan to do another 360 styled collab, but more freeform and not synced.
Mm.
And then after that, I want to see if I can somehow pull together a collab using that kind of end card game idea.
I mean, you could probably fit that in. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I still don't know how I would do it yet, but that's like way down the line because I still want to do another 360 collab before I really get into that.
I'm. I may do that for my current idea. I don't know. Maybe. Let's just say currently I guess I'll announce mine too. I'm also working on a concept, but I haven't been working on it because I've been mostly trying to get better, but also my co-host hasn't. Thanks outside world. My co-host hasn't been able to get a PC, so we've been doing everything kind of slowly, but we've been working it up via art and whatnot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think someone came to me recently with like this huge collab idea.
Mm.
It's like I don't know if I should say it, but they went to Hyun first, and then he didn't respond because he's like set his status to offline or something. So, but
That's funny.
then he came to me once Hyun didn't respond. He's like, "Hey, can you help me host this 30-minute collab?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a big ask.
Oh god, 30
You don't just pop that on someone."
Ugh.
But I told him I'd think about it. Um, and I've thought about it.
And
No,
oof.
I've been doing. I have way too much going on recently.
That seems about right. Uh,
Yeah.
so like I think we've a little trailed off a bit, but at least we put in some of the parts in there. But I did like the Heist of
Yeah.
Markiplier video itself. It was really it it was very creative in how it did the choices. I don't know if you noticed, but like I'd say I mean is there technically any spoilers? I don't know if I can.
I
Mark,
mean,
please.
honestly, okay. Before this, everyone who has not seen a heist with Markiplier and is afraid of spoilers, it is literally free.
Yeah, so just watch it.
Go watch it and then come back. All right, now talk.
Okay, cool. So like so okay. Breathing. The the first choice that you're presented with is literally a two uh, already in itself a two-part already a two-part like light and dark kind of thing. So do you want to shoot at the place or do you want to like sneak through by? And now we get to the concept of time travel or dimensional travel. It gets really weird in how it gets really weird in how you do your choices. So say you're gonna go guns blazing. So he brings you outside and you now have another choice, a helicopter or a freaking car. And if you take the car, you get to a point where you see a fucking flashing light and two people. And then it gets really weird because once you finish the car route, you go back to the other routes because you found out first of all that there's multiple endings because that's always fun. But
Because that's the entire purpose.
that's basically the entire purpose, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
you go back and then you go back to another pathway, and then you see that oh, there's a car heading towards you, and then you press a button and then the light flashes and they're like, oh, you were those two people. That's it gets so freaking, it gets so. I was gonna say meta. It gets so dimensional, and like it makes you think. Like, were we in other paths? What happened?
I
Like,
honestly, I have no idea what path you're talking about.
I know it's there's so many. It's 31 endings. You'll have to see for yourself. But oh my god, there is literally one path where you have the box, and then Mark. No, no. It was the one before you were falling. It's the choice before you start falling. Like or no,
Oh,
yeah, and
I,
then you choose not
I
to let go.
oh, I think you're right.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then Mark does like he pulls the freaking watch out of the he pulls a watch out of the box.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go freaking time traveling. Uh, go to like the part where you're just a flash of light and there's a car coming towards you, and then immediately like you have that snap of realization like, oh snap, that was you. It's so weird. Like I don't think Mark did that before, but it was really funny. Oh, actually, another instance happened. It was in the prison scene. I'm sorry. I just want to do this one because it the whole concept of time and how your choices are a little intriguing to me. It's only these
Right.
two, I swear.
It's just like we're just recapping over endings that they've seen by now.
Yes.
So,
Okay. There's a part in the prison arc where you are there's a part in the prison arc where you are given a choice to either dig or check out what the hell's behind the sink. And apparently,
oh yeah.
yeah, doing that leads to another four endings, and it just gets really weird because they're the same endings but said different. I'm like, what? My mind just got absolutely blown out. I was like, wait, I have to go back and do what? Wait, there was another
Epic.
path to do what? Epic, very epic. Also,
Mm.
if you haven't noticed by now, and if you haven't seen the entire thing by now, there's a fun little Easter egg that you can do. All right, that's it. That's your hint. Go back and watch and find it. Have fun.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone, if we seem kind of boring today.
We're
I, for
tired,
one, am tired and I'm getting over a cold.
and I'm tired as I am exhausted from doing another collab that took me 2 days.
Epic. I've been working on my English class is like we're able to work on a multimedia project, so I'm working on an animation, a synced stick fight. Um, but I have 2 more days to work on it,
Hmm.
and it's halfway done.
Dope.
So I've been animating a lot for that. But I'll probably upload that when it's done to my YouTube. But yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so those are excuses for you. There's some excuses.
uh,
All right. You wanted to talk about effort?
yeah. So I've been having I've been having to play Peacemaker for a specific time just because of a little issue that happened in a collab or something, and it was like uh, we only had like a specific deadline, and it's really hard specific when it comes down to 2 days trying to get as much as you can and whatnot. It's that kind of collab. It's very stressful at times, but
Boy.
so say if something had a rush in it, in the title, and it goes like, oh, they take that literally, and they actually just rush their project, and it's not even, it's like you know that after just one hit and done, you go, why? this isn't what it was supposed to be about. It's supposed to be like try to get as much done as possible before the time runs out. And it's like how much effort are you truly putting in if you think you have something else important happening?
That's fair. Um, I don't really know what to say about that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't. You haven't really told me about that project at all.
yeah. It's I mean, I don't think it's a secret because it's about to come out soon. So, uh, yeah, no, I can say it. It's Kirby Rush. It's just a little
Copy Rush?
copy. Kirby Rushed.
Oh, I thought you said.
Coffee. Well, I mean, Kirby does coffee. No, uh, it's it's a sprite thing. It's like I guess you could say it's like a tribute to the Maple Rush community. But like we had to animate something in like 42. I'm sorry, 48 hours, which is literally just 2 days. I started directly on the clock on 12, and I only took like 2 breaks, and that shit already like it made me exhausted as I had to make like a freaking hour and 27 minute part. But then another collaborator who he slash she shall not be named. I don't care. Like they put out a part first of all with offensive music, and second of all like it was like there was literally no effort put into it. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna hit you once, and then you're gonna float into the air, then again to another part of the air, and then back onto the ground. And there was not even a hit after that. And they tried making it funny, but I don't think I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Because even after that one punch, he goes to another freaking character, and it just says like, "Oh, if you have a problem with this song, freaking at me." I'm like, "What? you you
What
can't,
song were they using?
huh?"
What song were they using?
Well, first of all, it wasn't copyright, but the problem is it had the racial slur in there with
The dreaded N word.
the dreaded N word with the hard R,
Okay.
and sung by a child who is presumably white. So
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, clearly not appropriate, and obviously like it would offend more than just some people, and we would most likely get
Yeah. You
demonetized.
you just get those kinds of people sometimes where they don't care what other people are feeling, just
Yeah,
so long as it makes like one person laugh, even if it's extremely offensive. They don't give a shit.
yeah, but
Except it's not their collab, so they can't expect to get in.
exactly. The other problem was is that like I know that some another person in the collab uh, was not in the right mind, and let's just say that things escalated, and I had to basically play peacekeeper and tell them to stop.
Is
I had to convince the person to first of all I had to convince the person to redo some parts, at least make it so that they actually put some effort. They had at least some time to actually rush it, and by rush it I mean like make as much as possible before the time ran out. And then second, I had to ask the host of the server to at least allow him a bit of time before his time, like at least before his time ran out. It would ruin his point of the collab, but I I I'm that type of person to give someone at least a chance, no matter how bad they are. And luckily, both of them are reasonable, and he was able to make at least something before even the extension happened. But I still want to at least make a point that, like, even if you have a time limit, even if something says rush or not, like, I suggest putting as much effort into it as possible as you have joined said collab.
yeah. I guess that's
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if you had any kind of like people who tried making an effort to get in your collab itself. You know.
Well, I get a lot of the thing about my collabs is that I want good people most of the time, decent people, just so it doesn't look like hot garbage.
Mm.
So I end up putting up a template, but occasionally I'll run into like a participant who is clearly not in the right set of mind.
Yeah.
It's like they're either not talented enough or yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
like I'm sorry, I have like so many examples, but none are coming to me. I don't want to point out names, but there was one participant who was clearly not good enough, and I kept giving him extensions,
Mm,
and I was like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna kick you out. This is like back during Aerial Master.
yeah.
Or no, it was Imitator Tribute,
Yeah. I
and
think I know exactly who you're talking about too.
yeah, he was trying to use like his personal life to get
Mm,
into
yeah.
collaborations where he clearly wasn't, eligible for. But
Oh.
then I did like a little more digging and found that he was using the same tactic against other hosts that I just kind of
Just had to say
I
no.
just started to, like, God, like what's the word for it? Um,
Shut down.
Blacklisting.
Blacklist. Yeah.
I pretty much blocked him from joining a collab. But then he kind of left the dojo for a while. I don't know if he's back, but I'm sure I wouldn't mind him coming back to animate again. But
Yeah.
at the time, it's just like it had nothing to do with effort, but it just reminded me of that.
I'll bet. Uh,
But oh, actually, tying back to Imitator 2,
mhm,
um, how much effort? Shuriken, again, he's really dedicated,
mhm,
but I think he put in way too much effort into this. Like, of course, I appreciate what he did, but like, what he did to make it happen was unnecessary. Because, like, the way he structured at least the second part, which I had to host for like a month,
mhm.
um, because he was like on a vacation or something, or on like a business trip. Uh, it was he made it unnecessarily complicated.
Right.
Like, like when you'll see it's no, I don't want to give out any
Yeah.
spoilers,
Just
but
made as vague as possible.
th- there were there was literally like five other ways to host it a lot better, and he chose the most difficult route. But I'm I'm sure that I'll get to talk about that like next podcast or whenever we
Yeah.
do
I'd
it.
say like for this topic, it's like how first of all, it's like how much is enough effort, and then how much is too much effort, because there should be a balance in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think originally I was in the realm of like I'm not putting in enough effort because clearly in my old collaborations I don't think they deserved to be featured. Like especially Kryptonite. Kryptonite was hot garbage.
Unfortunate, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why people like it, how they could stand it.
I guess it was good at the
Because I
time.
can't anymore. I go back to that and I just cringe. It's like, oh, this V cam makes me want to vomit.
Oh, you're
Uh,
like it's also actually yeah. That's basically I used to be part of the not enough effort in that regard too, because it's like I used to think that I at least put as much effort as possible, but it's like now that I look back, I'm like, no, I could have probably done way better at the time, but I either was too busy or too busy bitching about something else, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I can't tell
yeah,
myself that.
I think the 360 collab is like a really good balance of effort and fun. Because like when it comes to collabs, you don't want to be too strict because then it becomes more like a job.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to be too lax, otherwise you're going to end up with something like oh, Defend the Girl is one of them, but another
Mm.
one. What was the one hosted by a creator?
Oh
The Slush
please.
Invaders tribute.
Yeah,
That one.
that.
Yeah, because they were way too.
Come
Both of
on.
them were way too lax on
Yeah.
getting people in the collab, using way too many different programs, decreasing the quality.
Yep.
Um, but then like one of the big differences between me and Shuriken is that I was under some kind of mindset where I was not putting in enough effort.
Mm.
Meanwhile, Shuriken was being like really harsh on like revisions during Imitator 2, at least. I don't know if he did it like in any other collaboration, but like it was almost canceled because people just stopped replying to him because he was being way too strict.
Mm.
Like I had to fix like 13 things in my animation before he could okay it. Like it felt more like a job than a fun collaboration.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's like it's. I think it's like one of the. I think that's like one of the problems with having quality over quantity. It's just that like whenever when you have like animators that have either little experience with the specific type of animation you're asking for, or the animators that are like a little bit more skilled than others, and then it's like you actually notice the difference in quality. It's like you get to a point where you probably as the host would question like, are you really trying like in this collab? And it's like you get to a point where you start to stress a bit more about it. You want to make it as good as possible, but it's like like you probably have how do you say it, you probably done a little bit like too much for the collab to make it really look really good. But then it's like
Yeah,
you also bring in like some people who either you liked but then you also want to improve, or people that you have little experience knowing about but you've seen at least like one good animation and you don't really understand like that they took a lot of time to make that animation, and it still looks a little bit at least either mediocre or like average at best. It's a little hard to match up with quality.
yeah. Do we have anything else we want to say about that?
Not that I know of. You're probably going to be talking a lot more about Imitator 2 once we get Shirk in here. So
Yeah, I don't want to leave on a sour note because like he put a lot of effort into it. A lot of like, of course, he wasn't enjoying himself, so he was under the mindset of, I don't like animating,
yeah.
so I should host this collab as if others don't like animating.
Mm.
But we eventually helped him realize that he shouldn't be too strict. So everyone don't go scream at him for that.
Yeah, please
Um,
don't go
because
on
he,
a witch
he's
hunt.
he's learned his lesson, but it still looks amazing, godly.
Yeah.
But yeah. The next thing that we were going to talk about is Alan Becker.
Yeah. This boy.
So how about that? Yeah. I don't know. I think
Okay.
I,
Oh,
I know a few people who currently or have worked for Alan. Uh,
wasn't Core like offered something for with Alan Becker himself?
yeah, he works for him.
Yeah, like because it was like at the
Yeah,
Team Trees
he's
thing,
one of the
right?
animators. Or hang on, let me see if he helped out with the Team Trees animation. Uh,
Oh God, yeah.
did he even credit? Did he even credit the animators in this one?
Uh, oh wow, I
I
don't
got I
think
got
so.
young dad.
Like,
Yay.
oh boy,
Okay, let's see.
skip it to the end, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like it now. It's probably just
Yeah, I don't
because
know.
of it's probably just because it's a like help the environment and whatnot. It's like a fundraiser, but
Yeah.
I don't think he did no. But we know that he's like working with Alan Becker now, which I think is really cool
Yeah,
because
I remember he showed me what he animated for animation versus Pokemon.
yeah,
Apparently he did like some of the sprite work near the end with the I remember Chikorita hopping back into the Game Boy. Apparently he animated that and it looked really smooth.
that's crazy.
Yeah, animated by Alan Becker, Turquoise, Fox, Oxob, and Adro.
Yeah, there it is. Jesus Christ, man.
Uh,
It's one of our
yeah,
boys.
my boy.
My boy's growing up. Nah, we knew we knew that Adro had like really crazy potential, so it's great that he's working with Alan Becker.
Yeah, to me, it's almost a shame because he doesn't see how talented he is. Like even with Shuriken, like going back to Imitator 2 again. Wow. Uh, like because Shuriken was only looking for like professional stickman animators, like really good ones.
Mhm.
Um, Adro got in and he still doubted his ability.
Oh God. Yeah, he.
'Cause I
It's sad that he
yeah,
doesn't understand that he has talent. Like,
but I kind of get it in a way because that was me with singing for a long time. Like
mm,
I did a I did a couple of talent shows back in middle school,
mm,
and pretty much the whole school liked both performances.
mhm.
But for some reason, I just kept being in denial. Like, no, I'm a terrible singer. I don't know how to sing at all. Uh,
Oof.
but it was only like in the past like few months that I've actually began to appreciate
Mm,
how well I can sing.
yeah.
I mean, I still don't do it often, but I've been doing it more often privately
Oh.
because I come up with like random catchy choruses every now and I'll record it, and then I'll listen back, and I'm like, okay, that sounds actually good. Yeah,
Oh. That's adorable.
but it's kind of like Adro. I think he'll get there at some point.
Yeah.
Um, but he just doesn't see his own potential at the moment.
Yeah. I honestly like Alan, like if he's able to work for Alan Becker, like he should probably like probably soon him and Becker should probably have a talk. Like cuz like
Should what?
we
Sorry, I didn't. You cut out.
oh yeah, him and Becker should probably have a talk. Like cuz I feel like cuz I feel like Adjo has so much potential. We've seen how smooth he can get. We've seen, like
Yeah,
when he made like stuff for Aerial Master or yeah, Aerial Master. Like we saw how like crazy smooth his movements were. His attacks were like very. I can't even say it's perfect because obviously nothing's perfect. Blah, 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 but it's so good. It's really freaking good. Like
yeah.
his smooth is crazy.
Even his kryptonite entry or entries,
Was one of the good
like
ones.
those were really good, and that was like I think that was like the first collab he participated in.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, no, he. It was before. It was a collision. He was the one with the green hat. It was the green guy with the blue
Right,
hat.
collision.
Yeah,
That's the one.
that was the first one. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of with the spiders.
Yeah,
Or
the
no, not the
spider.
spiders.
No, 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 not the
Spiders.
spider.
The spiders is still kryptonite, but
Yeah.
even his collision entry was pretty smooth. Obviously, there was a lot wrong with it, but
Well, it was.
it's still pretty. Oh damn! AJ Adams is still working for Alan Becker apparently.
Are you serious? Oh,
Yeah, I remember seeing that he animated for him like a couple times, but I
huh.
hadn't seen his name in the credits for a while. But apparently, in like the most recent
Holy shit.
animation versus Minecraft shorts, he was an animator.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, God, I haven't talked to AJ in a while. AJ, get on the podcast.
Get on the podcast, AJ. We need your opinion.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. That like some of these dudes are crazy talented.
Absolutely. Oh my god. I remember like before when I was watching Alan Becker, the first chosen one I saw, I think that was when back in it was like back in either middle or high school. I was literally like watching his animation. I go, how did he move the what? What he moved the entire screen? What? Like that was like a new form of background manipulation, and I was like, no, how can I do that? I want to do that.
Yeah.
I
I
guess you.
remember in middle
Yeah.
school there was like one kid who was claiming that he made the animator versus animations, and I immediately knew he was bullshitting. Oh, if only I could tell him now.
Oh my god! Imagine if he was one of the people
Uh,
watching, like
wait,
watching the
no.
animation.
Imagine if that was actually him.
I would just go like. Suh, dude.
Yeah. The only problem with that though is that his name wasn't Dowan.
Oof. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that was at the time when I don't even like know people's names, but I know the animation based on how it looked. So like if it
Yeah.
was animator versus animation, I go like, oh, it's the guy who basically fights his own he fights his own creation.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's like, oh.
All right. Do we want to move on to last one?
Yeah, probably yeah.
All right. So, as of this recording, which is Wednesday, uh, Terry Bogard came out on Smash Brothers,
I keep
and
calling
he's really fun.
I keep calling him Beauregard. Terry
Bogard.
Beauregard. It's probably because of my
Yeah.
my exposure to Jeeves volleyball, that freaking Flash game. But anyway, like, oh my god, Terry's so fun. Like I never thought I'd
He
like a fighting
is.
game character. Not gonna lie.
Really? I loved playing as Ryu when he came out.
I only like playing Ryu in Smash 4, but in Ultimate he kind of felt a little bit nerfed. Only it's not really like from him being nerfed, but it's most like it just from the game being different, a little changed and tweaked. But he felt less like able to be like able to combo, but he was able to deal a lot of damage, and especially since Ken came out, he's not really the damage or he's not the combo guy anymore. He's just the guy who was able to do Shoryuken kill like at 50. And now we have Terry
I
Beauregard.
mean, he can still pull in some crazy combos, though.
Yeah, definitely. It's just that like I'd say it's a lot harder to do, especially in this format. Like everything's a lot like the I was say hitboxes. The knockback is a little different because like, it's not like you can see how do you say it? It's like tweening. The ease is like 100%, and it's not like just at zero. So something is going fast immediately and starts slowing down. You know what I mean? Yeah, and because like it's
Yeah, ease.
you'd notice in Smash Four where sorry, you'd notice in Smash Four where you hit someone really hard, but it would just like keep going like in the same speed, and you wouldn't know if you were dead or not until you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
But
a
that's
problem.
that's not the point of the subject, though. So let's get back on track.
Sorry.
um, who do you want to see for the next Smash DLC?
Sans from Under. No, I'm just kidding, he's already in. God, I'm sticking with Gino or Shantae because those two need freaking attention.
I remember when Shantae the like one of the new Shantae anime trailer or opening it released, and then the window was vaguely in the shape of the Smash logo, and everyone was like, "Oh, Shantae confirmed."
Oh Christ, dude.
Is
Those are the
it's
times.
hilarious.
Those are the times when leakers were on the rise. Ugh. Like I feel like Shantae would be a good addition, and same with Gino, because if they're gonna have a representative of a game, then why not Gino? Like you already have Mario, so and like Terry is like one of the characters from Fatal Fury, and then there was also I can't remember, but it's that one guy who also does the fire punches, but he's not as Mimi as Terry. I just can't remember. He wears like a red jacket. I can't remember his name. It's like Cole, maybe. I don't know.
I have no idea. I've never played any kind of game like Fatal Fury or even Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's fair. The it's if I wanted to have another character aside from those two, not Shovel Knight. Um, damn. Uh, you know what? Let me hear your guess or what you want to or what you want because
Um,
I'm thinking.
who do I? Well, okay, first of all, what seems most realistic to me? Um, well, the thing is, like it's That's a weird question because we're getting people who we never thought would be in Smash. So trying to predict, like actually predict who's going to be next in line on the roster, it's going to get really hard because just so many people. Like, who would have thought Bayonetta would be in Smash of all people?
Well, that's true because we had the ballot, but we didn't think the ballot would actually be in Bayonetta's favor. Oh goodness.
Yeah, but also like because Bayonetta's game was like so kind of mature, like, a lot of people just doubted the possibility.
Now that you say that, it just reminded me of the good boys and girls. The good boys and girls can't have my Shiranui in the game.
What?
Oh, you didn't see the direct?
What are you talking about?
Oh my god. Okay, so there's a meme going on. Let's stray off topic just for a second. It's still about DLC, but while they were doing Terry Beauregard's Sakurai, he put in a lot of cameos for the stage of King of Fighters.
Oh right,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I know
that
what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
How he had to censor one person. How he just had to not
One
include one
character.
important person because they were too inappropriate. Yeah, this is great.
It's such a good meme. The little good boys and girls are playing Smash Brothers. We can't have my Shiranui's revealing ass, and it's like, but what about Bayonetta? Shut up. She has hair for clothes.
And in her like before, like in Smash 4, like the more that she would use her hair, the less clothes she would have, right?
Exactly. So what the fuck? What do you mean
This
more
is a
revealing,
children.
you ass?
Kids and teens of all ages come to play this game. Also, Nintendo. Bayonetta, am I right?
I bet Sega had to pay a fucking fortune just to get her in. I think the only rule of the ballot was it has to be a mainline character. Uh, but
I don't think that was the rule,
are you
but
sure?
sure, Boomer.
Well, no, because you've seen the I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm sure a lot of people have seen like the rules of the ballot was that it has to be from a game, and it has to be and the character has to be like the main character. So from the ballot. So a lot of people got Bayonetta because well no one wants Shrek.
What? What do you mean no one wants Shrek? I want Shrek.
Oh God, I don't
Because I
want.
haven't even got I haven't even gone to who I actually want in Smash.
I
I
know.
want Shrek
No, no.
and Waluigi. Okay, actually no. I actually think that they're gonna add Waluigi in some way. At least give him a me costume.
No, bet he's gonna be the last character, and everyone's just gonna riot. I,
Well, I mean it's the last one of the pack. I
yeah,
mean he
exactly. The last one.
gave attention to Sans, so I don't think it's that crazy to say.
No, well, no, well, Sans is a freaking costume, and that's fine. He's in Smash. We get it. That's a good joke. But then it's like
Well, yeah, but
Waluigi's an
like
assist
even
trophy.
Waluigi as a costume would be fine.
Yeah, I guess, but he's an assist trophy. If he gets a
Yeah.
costume, that wouldn't be a surprise because it's like we got Knuckles, you know. Knuckles is now an assist trophy, and he's also a Mii costume. Ow. So it's like if we get Waluigi as a costume, I'm sure there's gonna be memes of going like, why you no put me in Smash Bros. I know there's gonna be a whole lot of
Yeah.
disappoint memes. It's gonna be
I think
crazy.
like actually though, who I'd want to see in is Steve from Minecraft.
Just because of the concept of what it could possibly be.
Yeah, because I feel like they do something similar to what they did with Game and Watch.
Mm,
Because it's not really it's not an easy character to make into a playable fighter in Smash Bros. But neither was Game and Watch or Rob.
yeah,
I mean they pretty much made up most of Rob's moveset, but with
yeah.
Game and Watch it was like 100% original.
Mm.
Or like they just borrowed assets from all of the games because there were so many. And I feel like they could do something similar with Steve, and it's already like the best selling game of all time. and they have pretty good ties with Microsoft now, so I feel like they could make it happen.
True. I'm like I mean I agree with you. Like Steve from Minecraft, there's a whole lot of possibilities of what it could possibly do for attacks. Like there was even
Yeah,
a concept video of it. But
I saw. Yeah, I saw the video too. I was really impressed. I wanted the final smash to be like an Ender Dragon or something.
yeah, that would be freaking sick. Or maybe like a stage hazard as the Ender Dragon. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. No, I feel like
Actually, no,
I
because
feel
that
like
would
for the stage they would have to they'd have to make it more recognizable
yeah. Or
to people
maybe
who don't really play Minecraft.
ooh, what would if it would be just as big as the Kirby stage, the one where you have like a whole bunch of mine carts and whatnot, like the I don't remember the stage name, but it's like it's so expansive, like it's so huge, like everyone could just like run around in it. It's one of those big stages.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Oh, like a big mine system or like a house.
yeah,
Maybe they could do something similar to like I feel like they would do a like just a grass field
yeah. A grass field and then like
with
they'll
like
have a cave
maybe
from
like a
behind
village.
or a village.
Maybe
Yeah,
a village. I think a village would work really well for a stage.
yeah. And then like there'll be a mine shaft nearby, and you can like go in it, and then everything will just be like all of references, like oh don't dig straight down or something like that. Like all the Minecraft memes like they could possibly do. It's like everything is so subtle.
I think he could do it. I think Sakurai could pull it off.
Yeah,
I just love to see him in.
just see Steve from Minecraft.
I mean, my original number one, or no, my original number one was still Steve, but I really wanted to see Sans in Minecraft because I thought his moveset would be equally as interesting. Because he's got like what, two moves, bones and lasers.
Yeah, bones and laser, and it would all just be like used in different ways, and that's it.
Yeah, but I still think he could kind of generalize uh, Undertale as a character through Sans.
Yeah, imagine it would just be Frisk as the final one. They're like, "Hey kid, guess what? You're actually in it. We made a pun joke, haha."
I mean, I still would be pretty happy with that if they added Frisk.
I would be happy with that too if they had the whole concept again with that same concept, freaking the pacifist and genocide thing.
Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah.
mean, without the fandom, it's a really good game.
Uh huh. Well, without the toxic fandom, at least.
Well, yeah, there's a few good ones, but
Yeah.
I just like the games.
Yeah, the game was
That
really good. Yeah, and same with Deltarune. Dude, imagine if I had Chris in there. It's not Frisk, but it's Chris. That would actually be interesting.
yeah.
Because there is actually a, I believe I mentioned this before, but there was a mod on Rebels of Aether that actually added Chris. So they had like Susie and everyone else. The whole
Huh.
shebang.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't feel like Deltarune would have that much of a reach though. But
True.
didn't Sakurai say in the direct like he doesn't care if the character is not well known or not. It just matters if they're a well playable fighter.
Yeah,
So I feel like Chris could still make a good character because it's
Chris,
definitely
Frisk.
not as big
Yeah,
as Undertale.
true. Yeah, like if we can literally get like a teaser of Sans saying "I befriended your mom" and then have Toriel go, "Oh, aren't you playing that Super Smash Guys game or something?" I'm like, what?
Super Smash guy,
I don't think that's exactly what she
bro.
said, but it's close. It's
Yeah.
super close.
Well, we're reaching the end of the stream, or not stream, at the end of
Yes,
the
we're
podcast.
sub streamers.
Um, thank y'all for dropping by. Let us know if you want us to bring in any other special guests. We should be doing an imitator podcast with Shuriken and a few others.
Yeah.
But until then, I appreciate y'all for dropping by. Is there anything you want to say or plug?
Uh, sorry about being tired, but we
Yeah.
that's it. We're just sorry about
The
being tired. Well, I literally had a whole bout of
yeah.
Mountain Dew, and I'm just like coming down.
Yeah, the beginning of this podcast was kind of anticlimactic, but I feel like it got a little more interesting along the way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyways, oh yeah, you guys also have you viewers and listeners, for Animate, they're coming out with an update soon. So one of these podcasts will actually be some of the admins of Animate coming to talk about it. So you have that to look forward to.
Yep.
So yeah, have a good day. Eat your breakfast. Wear your seatbelt.
You know our
Don't get in a
channels.
crash, and try not to get the cold
Yeah, it's winter
because
and
apparently it's coming early this year.
well, I mean, it's November. Never mind. You're right.
So you were prepared to tell me I was wrong.
No, shut up.
Yeah. All right. See y'all later. Thanks for dropping by.